So, dear friends, today's session basically on special request with the organizers. Today's session was not scheduled. I'm waiting for 1 or 2 minutes so that many more participants may join. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
So, today is very important topic and that's why we have requested to organizers kindly give me some time so that I may discuss very important topic, that is educational principles of great educators. Plato is also one of them. He said good education consists in giving to the body and to the soul all the beauty and all the perfection of which they are capable. So, in this particular topic, we will discuss the educational thinkers from Indian as well as from Western philosopher. Indian perspective, there are three important philosopher or educator as per our syllabus, as per our curriculum of postgraduate diploma in pre-primary education, that are Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, and Arvindoji. There are three from Indian perspective and many more from Western. One is Rousseau, Pastology, Froebel, Comenius, John Dewey, Montessori, Jean Piaget, Brunner, Susan Isaac, and Vygotsky. So there are many, and we should be aware about what they said about education and aims of education, and what should be the methodology as per their ideology, and what should be the teaching methodology. So we will discuss one by one. First, we should take Mahatma Gandhi ji. According to Gandhi ji, the aims of education should be like that harmonious development of one's personality should take place. Preparation, it is a kind of preparation for life through labor leading to self-sufficiency. We talked about character of building. Gandhiji also talked about cultural development. Next, social welfare with citizenship for a society free from exploitation and class restriction. Means education should prepare kind of ideal state. He also advocated that education for equality, brotherhood, cooperation, as well as world peace, because that time the world peace was also required. And he described what should be the nature of curriculum. Gandhiji proposed basic education and he introduced Nai Talim, and there were so many Nai Talim Sangh were established. So, curriculum to according Gandhiji, it is a life centered and activity cultured. The second, knowledge and skill obtained through manual work and productive craft having utility value, because he advocated the kind of basic education, and basic education contained, as per his philosophy, kind of craft and this practical work. Next, it is based on the concept of learning by doing and learning. He was the kind of naturalist, and he believed that learning should be by doing and learning. He has given emphasis on mother language as a medium of instruction. As we have discussed, he has given importance on craft. He also advocated kind of arithmetic, social studies, general science, art, music, etc. as the subject of knowledge for the child. Further, he suggested the study of domestic science for girls. Means he advocated that home science should be promoted among the girls. Next. So, what should be the method of technical teaching as per Mahatma Gandhi? He emphasizes on the activity method and learning by doing. He said relations should be established among different academic subject and learning experience as well as daily life experiences. So he also described the specific role of teacher. According to him, the teacher must be well trained. Well trained means kind of he may be aware, he may be a master of craft preparation or this kind of basic education. So that's why he should be well trained, proficient, persons of knowledge, faith, zeal, and further bubbling with enthusiasm also. Person of action and devotion, character and nationalistic feeling. So these kind of qualities should be inbuilt of teacher. According to Gandhiji, the teachers must be person of high moral character. As you are all aware that Gandhiji was the philosopher of idealism as well as naturalism both. So he advocated for a teacher that he or she should be kind of idealistic and learner should be kind of naturalistic. That's why he advocated that learning for child should be by learning, by doing and learning, and by craft. Further, he said that teachers should be set an example, ideal examples for simple living and high thinking. According to him, the teacher should teach from life, not from the textbook, to impart the originality to his pupil. Means he advocated that whatever is around the environment, teacher should teach by taking the example of environment or kind of originality and kind of reality. Next, that he or she should not resort to corporal punishment. Means teacher should inculcate and should generate the values among the child, but for that corporal punishment should not be given to the child. So that was the kind of philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi ji. We will discuss basically all the ideology, all the philosophy of Indian philosopher as well as Western philosopher based on 4 points. Number one is aims of education, then second is curriculum, third is method of teaching, and fourth is role of teacher. Sequence may be the different in next slide, but we will discuss mainly four characteristics of the philosophy. The second one is Rabindranath Tagore ji, as you all are aware that he got the first Nobel Prize in Asia. Nobel Prize in Asia. Can anybody tell in which, on what he got Nobel Prize? Anybody, please? It was our pride that first Indian got Nobel Prize. No, he has written one book. And on that, he got,
1913 for Gitanjali.
yeah, for Gitanjali, he got in 1930, he got first Nobel Prize of Asia. So, what should be the aim of education according to Rabindranath Tagore? He advocated the all-round development of the individual personality through harmonious environment, interaction and union of spirit with environment. I think this is one only. Yeah, Rabindranath Tagore. Yeah. To help the individual to realize the essential unity of an individual with the universe, to develop the child's aesthetic nature and creativity in addition to ensuring whatever he or her physical, mental, moral, and spiritual development. To draw out the latent facility of the child optimally. He also said that to develop the attitude needed for international understanding and universal brotherhood in the child. And last but not least, to achieve the highest ideal of life, and that is truth, beauty, and goodness. So, if we summarize, and he said, the aims of education should be based on kind of truth, beauty means nature, and goodness means kind of nationalism and kind of individual entity. So, what should be the nature of Rabindranath Tagore ji? He emphasized on mother tongue. He said that mother tongue should be the medium of instruction. Curriculum should make use of educational values like craft, fine art, music, dancing, field, etc. Then he further said that language and literature, mother tongue, and other Indian foreign language should be included in the curriculum. Means first curriculum should be on the mother tongue means mother language, and second the curriculum should be based on craft, fine art, music, uh, dancing, field study, etc. He also advocated that in the curriculum Science subject like mathematics, sorry, science subject and mathematics, history, civics, geography, economics, sociology, religious studies, philosophy as a core subject, arts, philosophy and psychology also be included. However, as a core subject, art, music, dancing, painting, designing, etc. should be added. The study of technical and vocational subject like agriculture, horticulture and gardening, etc. should also be incorporated in the curriculum. As per Tagore, what should be the method of teaching? He said learning by doing is suggested, but the best method is keeps the mind away, keep the mind awake and gives direct experiences. He further suggested discussion and question answer means dialogue method to promote logical thinking and problem solving ability. He also suggested that teaching should be based on activity methods such as craft, dramatization, project, physical activities, creative production, and so on. And he given stress on physical as well as mental development. He also suggested that heuristic method means to know the fact. That was also advocated by him. Why him? Why it was advocated? For inculcating a spirit of inquiry in the child while teaching science and mathematics. As you all are aware that heuristic method is being used for the subject of science and mathematics or other related analytical based subject. Social service was accepted and practiced as a method of teaching. Means teacher should be a kind of social while teaching in the class. So what should be the role of teacher? Role of teacher is based on their aims of education. Means a true teacher should be sympathetic, tolerant, and having patience. A teacher must be receptive mind and openness for learning. Means he or she should accept all the questions and should try to respond all the queries of the child. A true teacher should be a continuous learner. Yes, this is a very good role of teacher as described by Rabindranath Tagore. As we have discussed, a teacher should be a continuous learner also. When teacher stop learning, then he would not have play important role as a teacher. A teacher can never truly teach unless he or she is still learning. A teacher should provide conducive environment to the child so that he or she may engage the child in useful and constructive activities and learn by learner's own experience. So that was the philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. Third one is Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. He was also great educator, great educationist, and having very healthy, very strong philosophy of education. So the aims of education as per Aurobindo to help the individual to realize themselves means to attain the self-realization, spiritual development, to help the individual in the harmonious development of the different level of the child means Chit, Manas, intelligent and institution. There are four character of harmonious development, and that should be the aim of education, which should be developed or inculcated among the child as per Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. To help the child to develop moral senses, to build the power of human mind and spirit to their perfection, to attain the senses so as to achieve their fulfilled development. There is a quotation in Hindi, एक दीपक तब तक अपनी ज्योति से प्रकाशित नहीं कर सकता जब तक वो स्वयं प्रकाश या जब तक उसकी स्वयं की ज्योति जलती ना रहे. किसने कहा था ये? Not heard. Rabindranath Tagore said, a teacher cannot enlighten the students until he or she is not in the learning process. So, what Aurobindo Ghosh said about the curriculum? According to Aurobindo, the curriculum should include all those subjects which promote their mental and spiritual development, but it should be kind of flexible, interest based, and should be planned according to individual differences. Means he know there may be the individual differences among the child. That's why he advocated the curriculum should be kind of flexible and as per the interest of the individual learner. He emphasized the importance of mother tongue, science, social science, arithmetic, art, health education, fine art, etc. So these two was the aims of education and nature of curriculum. Further, what should be the methodology as per Aurobindo? He said that impart education through the mother tongue means teacher should use the mother tongue for the learning of child. Skill and knowledge should be imparted through cooperative activities. Cooperative activities, kind of it may be kind of playway method, or it kind be outdoor games, or it may be kind of practical based activity. Learning by doing is the best method for learning. He also emphasized Montessori method for infant classes, means 0 to 6 year age. He advocated there may be the Montessori method for the teaching of learner. He attached great importance to experimental learning, means he advocated that learning should be experimental based. The role of teacher, as per his theory, his philosophy, a teacher should be representative of the supreme knowledge, supreme truth, and the supreme law. The teacher should act as an aid, a mean, and a channel. Means he or she should be kind of resourceful. To be a good teacher, one must be a saint, a hero, a great yogi. Means the teacher should be role model for the child. The teacher is not an instructor or taskmaster. Teacher should be a guide or helper of the child. According to Aurobindo, the task of teacher is to suggest, not to impose. Means teacher should be kind enough during the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. So all three philosophers of Indian, Mahatma Gandhi, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, and Aurobindo Ghosh, has given lot of contribution towards Indian education system, and most of important recommendations of these three even still being helpful in present scenario also, and you may see the importance of these three theories in the new education policy 2020. So let us decide the Western philosopher. First, we will take Rousseau, although we had discussed somehow about the Rousseau, but in detail we will discuss what is the aim of education as per Rousseau, what are the curriculum recommendation, and what is the role of teacher, and what should be the teaching methodology. So as per Rousseau, the aims of education is to develop the child's ability freely as nature intended. Means aims of education should be based on nature intended. To create a natural man free from the artificialities of the society, means nature should be learned, nature should be given opportunity to learn, sorry, learner should be given opportunity to learn with the nature. To guide the child to prepare for struggle for existence, to ensure autonomous, to development of individuality, and to assist in the self-expression. More or less, we have discussed all these things in previous sessions. The next is to perfect the child's organ, means physical activity should be stressed upon as per the aims of education of Rousseau, and to shape the heart by teaching to live for others and to live togetherness in the social relationship. So Rousseau advocated that hand means hand, heart, and mind all should be developed with the help of nature or within the naturalistic environment. As far as curriculum is concerned, he said that at the level of 0 to 6, infant, only physical education means kind of movement, kind of physical activity, playing, it should be incorporated. 7 to 9 year, boyhood age, he has given boyhood age. This is chiefly the period of sense education and apply the principle of negative education. Means apply of negative education means, can anybody tell what is negative education? What is negative education? Anyone? So many times I have given example. If the child is going towards fire, let him go. Positive education, no, don't go. It is hot, very hot. So please don't go. This is a positive education. Negative education, let him go. He will himself or herself understand that it is not good for me. Para-adolescence, 10 to 12 year. He said that this is a period of intellectual education. So at this age, the child is ready to receive knowledge. So accordingly, kind of information about nature, world, science, that can be started at that particular age, 10 to 12 year. Adolescence is, this is the age of moral and social education. In that particular period, it should be the main emphasis is on what is right, what is good, and the teaching Moral and religious subjects were also suggested in this particular adolescence age. At the last but not least, Rousseau prescribed a separate curriculum for the education of girl. He prescribed bodily exercise for acquiring physical charm. I'm not going to in detail what Rousseau said, but he was the kind of opinion that girls' education should be kind of specific, means all subjects should not be taught to the girls. So that's why many criticisms were there about the Rousseau's philosophy, specifically girls' education. Then what should be the method of teaching? Rousseau said that direct self experience should be there. Nothing should be taught to the child. Let him or her learn by direct experience, learning by doing, heuristic method, and social participation. These four teaching of methods discussed was described by the Rousseau. And for that, the role of teacher is merely as an observer of the natural development of the child. But teacher is only to set the stage and allow the child to act freely. Means teacher should be a kind of mentor that yes, that may be the age that in this particular age the child may can opt that kind of particular activity. It is the duty of teacher that he should create a kind of level and based on the inherent capacities of the learner. A teacher is only to act as a sympathetic observer and guide. So that was the Rousseau's philosophy. Next is pastology. The full name is John Henry's pastology. As per pastology, the aims of education is to ensure all-round harmonious development of the learner. He advocated for the development of natural power. He also was in an opinion that optimally development of the power of head, heart, and hand means he has given the formula of 3H: head, heart, and hand. Education should be based on the development of 3H to create the moral human being. Further, he said that aim of education should be to cultivate human nature and build a moral and religious nation as well as society. Further, he described the nature of curriculum. According to pastology, the curriculum should be based on activity and experience. He expanded elementary school curriculum to include geography, natural science, geometry, history, music, fine arts, as well as ethics. And not only ethics, the curriculum should be based on reading, writing, arithmetic means 3R, as well as Latin grammar. He advocated that students were taught by him agriculture and other manual skills, means he given emphasis on skill, and skill may be manual and agriculture. He also advocated as well as traditional subject that we have discussed 3R: reading, writing, and arithmetic. He said that students should learn counting, adding, subtracting, multiplying, all the based on mathematical operations. He emphasized the importance of tactile objects such as plants and mineral means natural science. Natural science should be given importance in the curriculum as per the pastology. Then method of teaching, he devised a spontaneous instruction, a group method means peer teaching, peer learning for reading, writing, and arithmetics. He emphasized sensory learning, and for that he suggested a special method, direct concrete observation called Anshung, means direct concrete observation. He designed a lesson in which children, guided by teachers, examined the form, shape, number, quantity, all about means kind of mathematical learning. We suggested a field trip for teaching the natural science. If the learner go to the nature or as well in the field, then he learn about the natural things and natural science. For specifically early education, he recommended that children use no book, but rather learn through the direct sensory experiences. And for that, the role of teacher must take the place of parents, exhibit love and sympathy for the children. The teacher should be reflective practitioner, helping children to make sense out their experience and situations. The responsibility of the teacher is to develop the individuality, and the teacher should not teach through words but allow children to discover their answer themselves. Means, as per pastology, teacher should be a kind of mentor, guide with all sympathy and love. The next philosopher is Froebel. And Froebel is very important because he is a kind of popular person. You know, he has used the terminology kindergarten. Kindergarten means we have discussed the meaning of kindergarten. Anybody remember?
बच्चों का बगीचा.
Yeah, बच्चों का बगीचा. The Froebel word, Froebel used the word kindergarten, that means the garden of child. बच्चों का बगीचा means teaching with the help of nature. And as per the Froebel, the teaching learning process is based on nature. He has given the word for the classroom or as well as school is बच्चों का बगीचा, and teacher is kind of farmer or mali. He sharpen the child as per the society demands or curriculum demands. So, what should be the method of teaching as per Froebel? Froebel used the play for the development and growth of the child in the kindergarten established by him. He established many kindergarten schools in the cities, and he used the method of teaching should be the playway method. And as we have discussed, the role of teacher should be kind of mali and kind of mentor or gardener. So teacher plays the role of gardener who look after the tender plant, and he should provide the environment of life and freedom, and should utilize the methodology in playway method or activity based method. So there are so many important contributions of Frobel. Let us discuss one by one. The main feature of kindergarten are the following. Means kindergarten, in kindergarten he advocated the self activity. A child should be given all freedom to carry out his or own impulses and decisions. And there are, he described the three steps in self activity. One is formulating a purpose, for which purpose activity is scheduled or planned, and how we will plan means planning out the purpose. Activity on the plan until the purpose is realized. So he has given three steps for the self activity. As we are aware that he advocated playway method, that he has given very important place for the play. According to Froebel, play is the purest and most spiritual activity of the man at this stage, and it gives therefore joy, freedom, contentment, peace with the world, etc. And he said that the learner can learn easily, joyful, with freedom through play only. And play consists the following means song, gestures, and construction. There may be the song, there may be this kind of various kind of gesture, different kind of constructions of build means value system through the play, learning by doing, and togetherness, brotherhood. He also given one more important than gifts and occupations means reward. If the learner is doing well, learner is learning perfectly, then child must be rewarded by the gift. Gift may be the various kind of type. It may be the kind of motivation. Yes, well done, good, keep it up. Or it may be kind of things, pen, pencil. It may be the kind of natural things, flower, etc. He, the contribution of the Frobel in the form of the what is the place of teacher, we have already discussed the place of teacher as a gardener, as a mentor, as a facilitator. Then free self-directed activity, that is also contribution of Frobel. Social participation, motor expression, these are the basic skills and which take place in the Frobel kindergarten schools. He advocated that discipline should come through love, affection. It should not be imposed. Love means togetherness, friendship. The chief field in which he influenced the modern education are, he emphasizes on pre-primary education and pre-basic education. Means these two type of education should take place in kindergarten schools. As we are aware that new conception of school as kindergarten system, respect for the child individuality. This was the Frobel contribution or Frobel special highlight. Stress on the study of child, education through play, science training activity, and nature study. and a specific recommendation that we may take as a contribution that women teacher must teach and care for children at nursery stage. We advocated that if possible, then women teacher should be engaged as a teacher at nursery stage. So that was the Frobel contribution about the teaching. This is the Comenius. Although we have discussed, then we should go fast. Communists believed that education aimed at man's reason, at man's character, independence, understanding of God. He believes education has power to regenerate human life, and for that, the nature of curriculum. He said that languages, because he was the Western philosopher, then he advocated the kind of Latin, Greek, and other vernacular language may be given importance in the curriculum. He advocated the study of modern foreign language for facilitating communication. He has given stress on the study of grammar, dialect, arithmetic, geometry, geography, music, physics, chronology, geography, history, religion, as well as moral. And what should be the methodology or instructions or as well as role of teacher. As Comenius is regarded as the founder of modern method of instruction because before Comenius the system of class instruction was not involved. Teacher did not teach a number of children in the class at the same time as individual students were taught separately. He has explained that method of classroom instructions through a series of methodical directions. So he advocated separate teachers for different classes. You may aware still today in primary schools one teacher is monitoring one or two classrooms. So he advocated that different teachers should be available for different classroom. John Dewey, he has great role in Indian Western as well as Indian education system. As per John Dewey, the aims of education are to develop the child powers and abilities, to create social efficiency and social skills in the child, to create democratic value and ideals, and to prepare the individual for future life. Means he was the kind of philosopher of reality. And as per the John Dewey, the nature of curriculum should be based on principle of utility. Means curriculum should be based on activity and should have some utility, some purpose for the child as well as society as well as nation. Principle of flexibility. So curriculum should be based on flexibility nature so that every student may learn and nothing should not be rigid, fixed and predetermined. So he advocated the curriculum should be based on the principle of flexibility. Principle of experimental knowledge means he advocated that curriculum should be based on kind of practical that can be proved through various experiments And the last but not least, principle of integration. The different subject, activities, experiences involved in the curriculum should be integrated to each other. Means kind of multidisciplinary approach he had given. So according to John Dewey, the method of teaching, he advocated four type of method of teaching. One is project method. As we are aware that project method is a purposeful activity based on need, interest, activity, participation in the entire process of teaching learning. Then he advocated that teaching should be based on problem solving method. Dewey suggested that problematic situations should be provided to the children in the classroom so that they make purposeful effort to solve it by reflective thinking, and teacher should be a mentor or a guide to help them for their problem solving. Experimental method he has given because he has emphasized the curriculum should be based on experiment. So he emphasized that experimental method should be used. DV implies that learner must be placed in the position of discover, inventors, and may learn things from themselves by testing and experimenting. According to DV, John Dewey said that learning should be by doing. Although various philosophers have given emphasis on this particular method, like Rousseau, even most of Western philosophers advocated that learning should be by doing, except some ideal Plato, Aristotle. So, what should be the role of teacher as per the John Dewey? John Dewey said that teacher has to observe, has to plan, has to encourage the pupils for the activities and for their experiences. Teacher should be a friend, guide, facilitator, but should not be a kind of taskmaster. He has to be a guide and should be ready to be with the child for the solution of complexities of the life. The teacher should have empathy. He should not have only sympathetical. He should have empathetical for the child. Because he or she must consciously abstain from imposing the ideas, interest, views on the or the tendencies on the children. We should allow the learners to learn by their experiences, by their learning, self learning, self activity. As per John Dewey, the teacher has to guide the child not only in the habit of democratic cooperation but also towards the highest intellectual pursuit and the fullest aesthetic experience. So this is about the John Dewey philosophy. Next is Maria Montessori. You must have heard that name of Dr. Maria Montessori. Why? Because he started in 1940 in India various Montessori schools, and which was the kind of time or or great movement toward the early child care education. So method of teaching as per the Montessori. Education in Montessori system is self-activated. Children learn at their individual pace and according to their own choice of material and activities. As per Montessori, it is based on profound respect for the child's personality as an individual. It is based on learn by doing, and as per Montessori, the learning environment is positive, non-threatening, and non-competitive. Children learn through activity that involve exploration, manipulation, and communication. She said that children are taught through all the senses with a special emphasis on the kinetics. In the Montessori school, the role of teacher is that of guide, observer, coach, facilitator, and for that, she has given the provision for specific training of the Montessori school teachers. Montessori method facilitates learning by discovery rather than by mere instruction. Montessori system teach individual instead of group, and it utilize autodidactive यानी कि self correcting equipment for introduction and learning of various concepts. So the role of Montessori in terms of method of teaching in the Montessori school was very important. Then what should be the role of teacher? Although we all have discussed in previous chapters, previous sessions, but we should go quickly. Care for the soul of the child means teacher should care the soul of the child. Replacement of the word teacher by directress. Intimate knowledge of the child. The role of teacher should be as doctor come scientist come missionary. He has given very heavy words, very motivating words to the teacher. Teacher should be as a gardener and provision for the suitable environment, and she has given the emphasis on moral values. So this is the about role of teacher as per Montessori philosophy. Then what are the specific contributions of Montessori? You know, a unique system in early childhood education. She devised Montessori, or the Casa de Bambini was the name in her country, and she developed the sensorial material and detective apparatus. She discovered the children have basic needs and natural tendencies. She also discovered the plans of development, and most of things she has discovered the modern education technology. Because he used the term of education psychology, and she has given kind of importance of concrete or handsome learning in their Montessori school, as well as stage of cognitive development of the child, and she has given link between the emotional and development emotional development and ability of the learner. So the contribution of Montessori in terms of schools, Montessori school in terms of curriculum, in terms of teaching methodology is very high. Montessori educational theory brought some other radical change in the field of education. These are the constructions of curriculum becomes oriented to actual need of life, means curriculum was as per the actual need of life. Good environment, she has given good environment as Montessori school for the child. And the aims of education was individual development of every child, and she has given emphasis the proper training of the teacher to cope up the dreams of Montessori school. So this was the contribution. This was the about brief about the Montessori. This is the Jean Piaget. This is also important philosopher, educator. Although he was the psychologist, but before psychologist, he was trained as geologist, and his interest was in child and their cognitive development. And he worked with the Binet, and Binet was also psychologist. He has developed the first intelligence test. If somebody asks you, then first intelligence developed by whom? Then that was the Binet, Alfred Binet. Or you must say the guru of Piaget. So Piaget learned a lot from the Albert Binet. The main contribution of Piaget was he has divided the stage of development of child in four categories. One is sensory motor stage, means 0 to 2 year. He said that the important cognitive accomplishment at this stage are child differentiate self from object. The child recognize self as a agent of action and begin to act intentionally. The child achieves object permanence. So during these 2 years, he has defined various activities done by the child, and that stage is known as sensory motor stage. The second is he described pre-operational, and the important things of pre-operational age are learning to use language and to represent objective by image and word. Means if we show the child different kind of image, word, then he try to learn, he try to understand different kind of image and different kind of words. Thinking is still egocentric. The child classify objects by a single feature. Means if apple is there, then he will call apple only. He will not tell this is a mango. Then third stage is concrete operational stage, and that includes 7 to 11 year. And the important things of this particular age, the child can think logically about the object and events. Child achieve conservation of number, mass, and weight. The child classifies object according to several features and can order them in series. If you gives numbers and alphabet, then he can arrange in the particular sequence and series. He has described a fourth age for the child is formal operational stage, means kind of teenage, pre-teenage to teenage, 12, 13, 14, 15. And according to Piaget, in this particular stage, a child can think logically about abstract prepositions and test hypotheses systematically. A child becomes concerned with the hypothetical, the future, and the ideological problems. Can anybody tell me that he has given three id, ego, superego? What is id, what is ego, and what is superego? Anybody, please? Today you are not interacting. Are you not ready to be there, or should I close the class?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
This is Dharmendra.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
Welcome,
uh,
Dharma.
Sir, I joined a little late. My apologies for the same, sir.
No problem, no
Uh,
problem. It
uh,
is a kind of learning classroom. Nothing,
yes, yes, sir.
attendance is not compulsory. Whosoever is interested, whosoever is ready, can join the class. Yeah,
As far
Dharmendra.
as the question that you asked, sir, unfortunately, I'm not able to recall it properly. I studied in my graduation this id-ego and superego, but
Huh.
not able to record it properly. But once you said, I will definitely able to give some answers and
Yeah, please, please.
probably
No.
able to explain it properly.
Yeah.
My apology for that, sir. But we are interested. That's why we are here, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Mandeep, what you have written? It is related to mind. Yes, id, ego, and superego is related to mind, but there are three stages. I tell you one example. If a child goes to the farmhouse and see the mango tree, and he took the stone and thrown on the tree, and he took the mango and returned to his home. This is the one example. The second example, he asked the gardener, he requested the gardener that please give me one mango. And third one is, he asked the gardener and he buy the mango from the gardener. He purchased the mango from the gardener. So first situation is id, second is ego, and third is superego as per the Piaget theory. It is not kind of ego. Ego means it is not ego, that egoistic person. No, no. This is the kind of different id, ego, and superego. Yeah. So next is Jean Piaget has also described three important stages of intellectual growth, which involves fundamental process: assimilation, accommodation, and equilibrium. Assimilation means the learner transform incoming information so that it fit within his existing schemes, patterns, and thus assimilated with previous knowledge. Means assimilation is based on previous knowledge, accommodation, kind of adaptation, and equilibrium means kind of mixing of assimilation and accommodation. So that's why he said that teachers should create disequilibrium children cognitively by making them confront challenging and stage appropriate situations and thus motivate them to learn. So I just given little bit idea about the three stages because my syllabus is very far, so I should go first. The next is Brunner, and Brunner advocated about the discovery, and he said that learner should be presented in a problem situation so that he may learn, he may try to solve the problems by the answer under the supervision of teacher. And he designing and operating education structure means the maintain the spirit of discovery, ensure readiness to learn, adopt the spiritual approaches, and ensuring the mastery of each concept by grading the experience leading to the categorization and definition. So this is a small uh, about the Jerome Bruner. The next is Susan Isaac. She was also the great educationist, not only educationist, psychologist and psychoanalyst also. She published the papers and studies on intellectual and social development of the children. So she has not given kind of specific aims of education and method of teaching, but Isaac was the head of Malting House School in Cambridge, and that was the kind of experimental school. And the school fostered the individual development of the children, and the children were given freedom and were supported in their action. Means, and she was the kind of opinion of naturalism. According to her, the teacher were seen as an observer of the children. So this is little about the Susan Isaac. Vygotsky we have already discussed in the previous session. He has given four basic principles that children construct their knowledge. He said that development cannot be separated from its social context, and learning can lead to development of nation, development of individual, development of society. He said that language play a central role in the mental development, and that's why Vygotsky has given ZPD theory. And when you study your study material, please go through the theory ZPD because he has given wonderful theory. This was the about the unit number 11. So very quickly, globalization and education. You must be aware what is globalization. This is very small unit, and we will discuss these three concept of globalization and what is the impact of globalization on education as far as special perspective of preschool education and what are the competency needed by the teacher in globalized world. So globalization, you know what is globalization? A set of process by which the world is rapidly being integrated into one economic space via increased international trade, internalization of production, as well as financial market. Globalization include that international trade, economics, internationalization, and financial market. So according to globalization, what education have to take care about designing educational program. So these are the 3 4 point that globalization increased demand for the knowledge, and knowledge comes through education that we have already discussed. So as per the globalization, there may be the need for change of curriculum, change of aim of education, change of various things. And as per the necessities, knowledge, skill, intellectual, these may be the changes in the curriculum. Second is globalization increase pressure to improve the quality of schooling. Means it create the kind of competition for the quality of education. The globalization increase the competition in the globalized market, means it create a kind of competition not only within the society, within the state, within the country, even at the international level. So globalization resulted in increased investment in education sector for the quality of education, investment in education system in many developing nations, including India, take place. Globalization resulted in expansion of university education in the most of country. If you see, as per the because of globalization, various campus of foreign universities are exist in India. Even as per the globalization, multicultural education, multidisciplinary education, and even online education became popular because any person from any country, any time can take education through online and distance education. And the best example is today's session. You are from many corner of the India and enjoying the online class through distance mode only. It was not possible through conventional mode. So globalization reduced the gap in the quality of education imparting in different countries. Means nowadays syllabus curriculum is more or less same because of globalization, because of the need, because of the quality of education. Standards is set by different nation at the level of international. And what are the merits and demerits of globalization? First, we should discuss what are the merits. The merits are globalization will provide global opportunities and promote international goodwill. Globalization encourages exchange of knowledge, scholars, teachers, even educated manpower. An Indian can be professor in the foreign country universities, or foreign country university teacher can be a teacher or professor in India. So this is the beauty of globalization. Even a student can access the best educational facilities, best education material, best education courses of their choice as per the globalization. But there are some demerits also. You know, education is considered as a commodity for sale because of globalization. It is being considered as a commodity for sale. With commercialization, means commercialization of education has took place as per the globalization because of globalization. The rate of return approach means if the country is investing something, then the country will also accept good return. The rate of return approach of education is getting dominant, rather quality of education. Reducing public investment in higher education. Actual education is not being popularized because of globalization. We are looking the interest of other global country, we forget the uh, local needs of the society and nation. So, what could be the reforms cope up with the globalization? The curriculum, content, and transaction. It should be productivity orientation, value education, research and development should be promoted. These are the four factors which can be the reform to cope up with the globalization and education system in India as well as in other countries. So, if I talk about the preschool education and globalization, so HDI, Human Development Index, has given three basic dimensions that a long and healthy life, the education should be like that as per the global need, which may uh, advocate a long and healthy life. And education should be based on knowledge. The learner should learn, learner should achieve, learner should even create a good knowledge and a decent standard of living. It should be the main important thrust of preschool education at the global level. So these are the three basic dimensions as defined by the HDI, Human Development Index in 2000. So what should be the teacher role in globalized world? Teacher should promote sensitivity for environment and harmony. He or she should develop basic skills and attitude for proper and continued development of social, cognitive, moral, emotional. She should He or she should transmit culture and knowledge. He or she should develop nationalism in the students. Should prepare students for internationalization and living in the world community by developing the awareness of various culture and various living in various diversities also. He should nurture creativity and critical thinking. Teachers should encourage adaptability. Teachers should help the child for their individual achievement or for self-actualization, self-realization. Teacher should be a role model for the student as well as community. So there are various teaching role, teacher's role we have already discussed in various school of philosophies. He or she should be skilled, he should be a counselor, he should develop in the context of local as well as global needs, be skilled in working with parents, with other members of the community, and should be aware about the health, hygiene, need of the education, especially specifically elementary education and so on. So these should be the role of teachers in the globalized world. This was the globalization and what is the role of education, what is the role of preschool education, and what are the role of teachers in globalized world. So next topic is education in the 21st century. I'm So in this particular topic, we will discuss the aim of education, although we have discussed in various sessions what are the aims of education in the society, in the emerging society, four pillar of education, and what are the relevance of four pillars, and value needed, what value is needed in the 21st century, and what is the concept of life skill education. So the most important in this discussion is four pillar of education. What are the four pillar of education? These are the four pillar of education. learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, and learning to be. Four pillars are important because of recent and modernization of education and as well as globalization of education. Learning to know, we already aware that learning should take place to learn new things, to know what is correct, what is right, means it is directly related to epistemology. Learning to do, the learning should be based on activity base, practical base, and learning to live together. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, even nationalism, that we are one, brotherhood, neighborhood. These are the quality of education, and this is the third pillar of education, that learning should be focused to live together, and learning to be also the important in term of that should be, means kind of truth, kind of reality, kind of spirituality. So these are the four pillars of education, and these are the very important in terms of your examination, in terms of your knowledge. You should be aware what are the pillars of education. The next is life skill education. What is the life skill education? WHO, World Health Organization, defined what is life skills. WHO given the decision making is the life skill, means assessing options and what effect different decision may be. Problem solving, means education should be based on problem solving and it is interlinked with life skill. These are the skills, and these skills comes through education, means decision making, problem solving, creative thinking, critical thinking, effective communication, interpersonal skill, self awareness, empathy, and last one is coping with emotional and stress. So these are the life skill interlinked with the education, and these skills are comes through the education. So this is the about your study material and your today's session. Although today's was not scheduled, but the topic was important, and I wanted to discuss this topic. So thank you, and this is the floor for you. If any question, otherwise we will meet in next week. Yeah, Mandeep Kaur, do you have any question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Deepak Maurya
Uh,
ji.
yes, sir. Will you please, sir, tell us about the project work, what is all about, and what we have to do in that? I want to,
No,
I am curious
no,
about it.
no, Deepak, no, because separate sessions has been scheduled. If you see your uh, schedule, I think one professor has will take your project activity and he will be the master. I am not. How to prepare your project? So I think he will be the right person to tell about. So be have patience. He will tell you each and everything about how to prepare project, and he will help a lot. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Deepak, हाँ. So
Yes, sir.
please have patience. He will take class in next coming week. So thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, Radhika Sharma.
हाय सर, मुझे पूछना था कि हाँ क्या कोई व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप या कुछ है जो हम बाकी से कम्युनिकेशन कर सके या कुछ पूछ सकें?
Do you want that?
यस सर।
So there right now there are 23 only. So I think that this will better you create yourself a WhatsApp group.
बट नंबर्स नहीं है ना सर?
We don't show numbers.
You ask your colleague and friend, no problem. All are in the group. Okay, next week, if you all will share your mobile numbers and anyone take responsibility to create a WhatsApp group. Yes, it is a good idea. है ना?
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Okay. My WhatsApp number.
यस सर।
No, I will tell my number in next session, है ना? Sure.
ओके ओके सर।
Yeah. Okay. Have a
Sir,
good day.
very small question that.
Yeah, Dharmendra. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir, just a curiosity to know that whether these classes are going to happen like on a regular basis or this is just for the counseling purposes and there will be no classes.
No. See, in ODL system, there is a counseling only. There is no classroom teaching.
Okay.
And this is the kind of national level counseling sessions for this particular program.
Yes, sir.
No other counseling sessions will be organized. If you all require, then I will request the organizer that he or she will share the recordings of the sessions, upcoming and forthcoming. On rest I think RC Chandigarh is the organizer. And the Chandigarh will upload all the recording on his website.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So, okay, we will meet in next week. Happy weekend. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.